Hello. It's been a few weeks. Things are moving though. I am now fully registered for the upcoming Steam Next Fest, and barring any kind of significant disaster, I expect the demo will be playable by early October. I don't want to go over everything that's going to be included, but I do intend for this demo to be a bit of a mix between a playable teaser and a tutorial for the game systems. So you can expect full control over the caravel with no real limitations in place, as well as the ability to freely travel, trade, and explore three smaller islands. And I'll get to two of those that have yet to be seen in a moment. First up, we have the Watcher. This is a very large tower, one whose original purpose has been lost. It's now home to a isolated group of people who are willing to trade with you. Here you can purchase any kind of good that is gotten from the sea, so fish, oil, that kind of thing. And the player can deliver or sell to this place any kind of material good, as this island lacks any kind of arable land or material resources. I had wanted to create a sort of imposing structure that is a little bit dramatic as well as being visible from a long distance away. This will be present in the demo and should be a sort of visible hallmark on the horizon as a indication of a good spot for the player to travel as a first order of business. And here we have Bathus Isle. This used to be a small settlement and storage depot for shipping coming from what is now a collapsed empire. The land is very hostile, as is most of the known world in this setting, but there is still a small outpost here, primarily used to store timber and lumber cut from the dried and preserved trees from the forests that used to cover the island. This island also implements the first stage of what I'd call an environment zone, being that the closer you come to this island, the more the nasty fog clouds will build, and visibility will drop, and vice versa. That system isn't fully complete yet, but is well in progress. This island isn't totally complete either, but I do intend for this to be one of the islands present in the demo. You'll be able to deliver goods such as food and other essentials, water, to this island and take things such as primarily timber from this island to other sources. Please forgive the occasional frame drop that seems to be happening. I'm having some issues with my recording software that I haven't been able to quite pin down that doesn't seem to be present in actual gameplay, but I'm hoping to have that sorted by the next video. I've made some changes to lighting to better function in scenes with many light sources. Now, meshes in the game world can be affected by quite a few more lights without a significant hit to performance, which allows for a more natural look to some of the lighting. I've made some changes to the note system to make it a little easier to read, and overall, it's getting close to a point where I consider it fully playable. As far as other changes go, I have added a overhauled settings menu with a number of new options as well as a more readable font. Particularly, I've added options to control the quality of fabric simulation or disable cloth collisions entirely. I don't really recommend doing this as it's a pretty big aspect of the game, but it does come with substantial performance gains, especially on older systems or computers with lower powered CPUs. You can also control things like the shadow distance and texture quality, so it can make a pretty significant difference. And regardless of the settings, it remains perfectly playable as long as you don't mind seeing a lot more clipping and maybe some artifacts in the sails. Other changes include dozens of bug fixes, small optimizations, and coding improvements, although there's not much to visually show from that respect. I've also added a number of items to the world for lore and world building purposes. This is something that I really enjoy about developing, and while at the start, Following Seas is not going to have a defined narrative. It is going to have a defined setting. And one I hope players will enjoy learning about through environmental cues, notes, and other simple systems. But anyways, with that, I'm going to sign off for this week, but I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to have another video out with more updates on the demo and release dates and that sort of thing in the relative near future. And I hope you have a good summer.